Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday night and every Tuesday night I jump on and share a sketch challenge with you. So tonight I'm using a sketch. Oh, and I meant to look to see. I have to look. Oh yeah, I do know. So this is a sketch that I've used. I got this card in a swap. Oh, and she doesn't include her name. I got it in a recent swap from a training event, and I just really loved the sketch. But unfortunately, the person I got it from didn't put their name on the inside of the card, so I can't tell you who it was from, unfortunately. But I did case this from another demonstrator that was part of the swap. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Lynette. Welcome. So tonight I'm going to use the basic border dies, and I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using the Pretty Prints. I had to think about that for a minute. The Pretty Prints designer series paper. I haven't used this paper very much, but it is really so pretty. Hey Cindy, welcome. So I thought I'd use this and we'll make the sketch. Now you can follow along. The sketch will go live on my Facebook group, Facebook page, and Instagram in about an hour. So it is 7:30 Pacific. It will be posted, and so you can follow along, and the measurements will be on that post when it goes live. But I will give you the measurements as I go through. All right, let me switch over and we'll get started. Hey Lee, welcome. All right, so this is the sketch. I thought it was really fun, and I love using the basic borders to create kind of a unusual angle on a card. And so this base is either 5.5 by 8.5 or 4 1/4 by 11. So it's your standard half a sheet of paper, either lengthways or lengthways. What's the other opposite side to lengthways? Either long and narrow or short and fat. So it's a half of a card. Your layer number 1 is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So you've got more of a border around this one than normal. And then layer number 2 is 3 1/4 by 4.5. And then you need 2 pieces, and that's what we're actually going to cut this kind of triangular piece from. Those are 3 inches by 3 1/4. And then about a 1.5 inch circle, and whatever it is you want. If you want to put a sentiment on that, you can do all sorts of things. So your circle could be bigger or smaller depending on your sentiment. So that's what we're going to use for a sketch. Now, here's my pieces that I've got cut. So I've got a piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5.5. As always, I use my paper trimmer. And I'm going to grab my bone folder. This is the side I score on. This is the raised line, so always fold into the raised line of the mountain. And then give it a good crease with your bone folder. All right, so now my layer number layer number 1, I'm using Parakeet Party. I just love this color combination. It's just so pretty. So Evening Evergreen and Parakeet Party. So this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then this is the Pretty Prints. It comes in Evening Evergreen. So 2 different sides. I just love the fern. Evening Evergreen, Blackberry Bliss, and maybe Shaded Spruce. I've forgotten what other color. There's a third color, but I'm using the Evening Evergreen piece. Isn't that pretty? Just so pretty with the kind of almost looks like it's a kind of sun bleached print where you lay your pattern on and let the sun bleach out the color. Just really pretty. All right, we're going to adhere this piece together. Yeah, this Parakeet Party and Evening Evergreen is becoming one of my favorite color combinations. Parakeet Party I've been using a lot of recently. If you watched my lives from the weekend, I used it, I think, both days with the elephant parade. All right. And then this piece, we're just going to we're just going to adhere flat on the card base like that. Just such a nice pop of bright color on the dark evening evergreen. Okay, seemed a shame to cover that up. Now I've got two pieces. These are my layer 3 and 4 that are both 3 inches by 3 1/4. And I'm going to use, these are the basic border dies. And they're just really fun because they're all different kind of shape, pattern shapes for the borders. I'm going to use this one that looks like kind of the flap of an envelope. And I am going to lay, now this is going to go on like this. So I'm going to kind of figure out what shape I want this. And I want it off, kind of off center. I don't want it to be, you can put it perfectly like an envelope flap, but I'm going to kind of put mine off to the side like that. And I'm just going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And hey, Susan, welcome. Now I just have to find my layer, my, whoopsie, crash. All right, layer number 1. Oh, look. No, I've got, here we go. Okay, so let's put that there. And let's put that kind of like that. And let's find another one. There we go. Now I think I've got the right layers for this. And there we go. Roll this through. Oopsie. Ah, I'm going to be on my hands and knees to try and find the die that just fell down. Here it is. Okay. I'm back. All right, so we got that piece. Now I'm going to do the same to the parakeet party. I'm going to use my shape here as a template because I want this just slightly larger, but I want it to be in the same shape. So I'm just going to put this down, got a hair, down on. So I'm laying my one I just cut down, and then I'm going to lay this on. And I'm going to use a piece of Post-it note tape because I want to keep it in the same kind of shape as my other one. So this is just going to be a pop of color underneath the evening evergreen layer. So it doesn't matter what kind of shape you actually use for this, just as long as you get both of them roughly in the same shape, so you can layer one on top of the other. Get my there we go, Post-it note tape off there. Okay, so here's my card. I want this as a kind of a bottom layer, so this is the one that was just slightly bigger. So we're going to adhere those two together. Now I could have done some embossing or something on my evening evergreen, but I didn't. I could do some stamping on it, perhaps, just tone on tone, but I think it's okay. I'm going to put my circle on, and there'll be a little bit more color. So you can see this is, I've just kind of created a layer below it with a pop of the parakeet party. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Pat from Chicago. Yeah, isn't this pretty color combination? This pair, oh gosh, these new in colors are just so amazing. Okay, so there is my card base. Let's put my die back in. It's with its with its friends before I lose it. Okay, now I went ahead and I have cut out of these are the stylish shapes dies. These are kind of getting to be one of my go-to set of dies. They come in squares, circles, and then these banners. And so I have used the the third and fourth largest. And so I've created, so the third largest is in Parakeet Party. So I'm going to put that there. And then this is in Very Vanilla. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to do some stamping on this. This is going to be my sentiment. And for my, hey Jocelyn, welcome. Yeah, Cindy, my nails are the new in colors. Aren't they amazing? I had fun doing that. They're not too bad, actually. My nail tech did an amazing job of trying to match. All right, I'm going to use this one that says a heartful thank you. I think, ooh, maybe not. That won't fit. Okay, let's try. I think maybe this hello. Hello there will fit. So I'm going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. And we're just going to stamp that in the middle like that. I'm going to leave that open for a minute. And then there is this great splatter. So I'm going to use that. I think I am going to do some stamping. There are a lot of dies in that set for sure. It's a really nice set. It's becoming one of the go-to ones for me. So I said I was maybe not going to do any stamping, but I'm going to use this splatter. And I should have done this before, but I'm going to just try and do some stamping. So just put some splatter on this in Evening Evergreen, just to give it some texture. Now I need to clean that off. I have ordered myself a new chamois. It isn't arrived yet, but I'm finding I don't know why I don't have any chamois around, but they're just so handy. So I can't wait for it to arrive. All right, I'm going to stamp my hello there. And so I've got Parakeet Party, and I'm going to stamp off. I just want a little bit of color. Ooh, that's just a really little bit of color, but that's okay. Just a little bit of color behind my sentiment. So I've stamped off twice, and you can maybe just catch a little bit of the Parakeet Party splatter behind. All right, let's use some dimensionals. So that stamp set, if I didn't say what it was, this is the Nature's Prints stamps. There are dies that go with this, and as well as the paper, the Sun Prints paper. It's part of the Sun Prints suite. Just really pretty. And it feels to me like it coordinates with this Pretty Prints Designer Series paper as well. All right, so then we're just going to put that. Where am I going to put that? Mine's a little bigger because I've got this extra mat around it. If I had just used the hello, it maybe would have gone there, but now I think I'm going to move it. So as I always say, a sketch is just some guidelines. You can kind of switch it up, whatever works for you. The reason I'm struggling with it is I don't want to cover up my nice edge, but we'll see how it goes here. I guess I will. I'll put it there. I don't want to cover up my Designer Series paper either, so that's why I'm struggling. Okay, it'll go right there. And then the last thing I've got, these are also some of my favorites. These are the matte decorative, what are they called? Matte decorative dots, and they are in all of the in colors. So I am just going to use 3 of their 2 sizes, large and small, and there are 5 different kind of shades. So I am just going to put 3 of them along there. And then the last thing I'm going to do, is I have got Where did you order my chamois? It's a Stampin' Up product, so you can go. I'm not sure where you live, Cindy, but you can go on to if you have a demonstrator. If you have, I can I'll put the link to it under here, which is the link to my store. But if you don't live in Canada, you can't order from me. So if you live somewhere else, you'll have to find it. But it is a Stampin' Up product. So I'm just going to put this splatter down in the bottom. They're really handy, and if you put them in a stamp case, you can buy the stamp cases as well. If you put them in a stamp case, they will just kind of wet them a little bit, and they hold their the moisture for quite a while when they're in the stamp case. And then you can just, no matter how dirty they actually look like they're getting, they still clean well. So just, you can get yourself some stamp cases like this and put your chamois in. So I will post that link, Cindy. Again, I don't know where you live, but if you live in Canada, that link will be to my store. All right. So I love this color combination. It's just so pretty. And that paper, gosh, I have to use more of that paper. So where's my sketch? I always like to show the sketch. I actually stayed pretty true to the sketch, even though I was debating about moving my sentiment. But I did add the extra layer. So this is about 1.5 inch for my sentiment. I just added the extra layer of Parakeet Party because I thought it needed some more pop of color. All right, yeah. So try these new in colors. Try different color combinations. Oh, funny, Cindy. Yeah, you can order it yourself if you're a demonstrator. It's I can tell you. Actually, let me grab my catalog. I can tell you what page it's on. If I can quickly find it here. I have to think about. Oh, there it is. It's on page 149. Along with the Stampin' Scrub and the Stampin' Mist, $11.75 in Canada. So thanks, Pat. Yeah, so let's see. I will be back on Thursday night with, it's a technique, because last week I had a mystery challenge for you. So join me on Thursday night at 6:30 for a technique. And then again, I will be live. Oh, thanks, Pat. You're so sweet. I will be live again on Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 12 noon with cards or projects for you. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight, and we will see you hopefully online on Thursday. Bye, everybody. Happy stamping.